Leicester City are most famous for finishing the ultimate underdog story and winning the Premier League back in 2016. Unfortunately, since then, it's not been smooth sailing for them. Over the years, they've lost multiple key players and even suffered relegation just 2 seasons ago. But after winning the Championship last year, they bounced right back into the Prem where they're currently in the bottom half of the table. And with players like Fatawu, Steffi Mavididi and Jamie Vardy in the team, I want to see what I can do with Leicester. So today, I'm taking charge of the Foxes with one goal in mind: win them the Champions League to crown them the world's best club. So here is the starting team that we've loaded into with the Foxes, and honestly guys, I think we've got a pretty damn good team already. I mean, these Wilfred Ndidi, 27, 78 rated, can absolutely boss that midfield. There's Bilal Al-Khanous, who's only 20, 76 rated, and an exciting prospect. This guy, in a couple of years' time, is going to absolutely smash it in the Prem. And there's, of course, Abdul Fatawu, showing great potential at only 20 years old, 76 rated already. Just like Bilal Al-Khanous, give him a couple of years and he will absolutely kill it. And how can we forget Jamie Vardy, the definition of loyalty, 37 years old and still killing it for Leicester. But there is a loan situation we've got to deal with. Buonanotte and Edouard are currently on loan to us from Palace and Brighton, so at some point we've got to sort this out. And it's a pretty aging team too, guys. I mean, there's about 6 or 7 players currently in their 30s right now, and if we want to take Leicester to that next level in a couple of years, we've got to sort this out. But it's going to be a slow and steady process, as we've only got 35 million in season 1. So I feel like with the Foxes, guys, we're not going to be competing for European football anytime soon. For season 1 at least, we're going to try and keep them in the Premier League. But this time, guys, I'm trying something a little different. I'm going custom with my tactical preset with the 4-2-1-3 formation, a counter-attacking build-up play with a balanced defensive approach. And this is how it'll look in game, guys. Both of our centre-backs are going to be stoppers, whilst our CDMs are holding and playmakers, whilst our wing-backs are going to be up and down the pitch to support our wingers. I don't know if this is going to work, but I guess there's only one way to find out, isn't there? And without making signings, guys, this is, in my opinion, our strongest starting 11 that we can field in. Honestly, right now, it's not that bad, but we definitely need to improve it if we are to survive the Prem. And I bet most of you are thinking I'm replacing Madsen Manson straight away, but I'm actually going to give him a chance. He's only 23, 76 overall. He's performing well in real life for Leicester, and hopefully he can do the same for us too. What I am going to do is focus on this back four, because I believe this is the weakest part of the team. I mean, we definitely need to replace Vestergaard, 31 years old, 76 overall, and he's got 32 pace, for goodness sake. How the hell is he a pro footballer? But whilst we've got 35 mil to spend on a centre-back, we've got to keep in mind Leicester are a newly promoted side to the Premier League. Not everybody in the world is going to want to play for Leicester. We've got to be pretty tactical on who we go for, which is why I'm going to sign Josip Satalo from Ajax, 24, 78 overall, and when you look at his stats, he is so much better than Vestergaard. And right now, guys, Ajax aren't really the Ajax that we all know and are familiar with right now. PSV are tearing it up in the Eredivisie League, so maybe Satalo wants to jump ship to England to see what he can do with the Foxes. And there we go, £21 million later, we've just signed our first player in charge of Leicester. And looking at this team now, guys, it fills me with so much more confidence knowing we've got a centre-back in the team who can actually run. But there is still the loan situation to sort out, more specifically Buonanotte. What do we do with him? Because he's 19, he's 74 overall, but the problem is we've already got too many players in his position. I mean, we've got Fatawu on the right, we've got Mafididi on the left, and we've got Bilal Al-Khanous playing that cam role, and I really do not want to get rid of this guy. But if we are to fit Buonanotte into the team, I think Mafididi is going to have to take a backseat and go out on loan or something for a couple of years. I mean, he's literally 7 years older than Buonanotte and only 2 ratings higher than him. And we do still have 12 million to spend, guys, so we can definitely afford him. So, guys, I've bitten the bullet and I've just done it. I've signed Facundo Buonanotte for 8.5 million. We're going to get him chained up to be a left winger. It'll only take him 2 weeks as well, and hopefully once he converts to a winger, his overall will increase too. But that does mean Mafididi, alongside all these other players, are going out on loan. Now, you might be wondering why I'm sending Pats and Daka out on loan. Well, there's one big reason for that. It's because I want Vardy to be our striker this year with absolutely no disruption from anybody else when it comes to his game time. I mean, I feel like he deserves it. He's literally a legend of football no matter which way you look at it. And whilst it's true he's getting on a bit now, he's got the quality around him to actually make up for that. Buonanotte on the left, Fatawu on the right, and Al-Khanous just behind him. Plus, after this year, will definitely be replacing him anyway, because there's no way his overall is going to stay at 77 when next year he'll be almost 40. But in other news, guys, Buonanotte is about to become a left winger. Is he going to go up in overall? Yes, he does. 75 rated. Beautiful stuff. And with that, guys, we are set for Season 1, which means this is the team that we are throwing into the Premier League season. And I do feel like we're going to do pretty well. I mean, granted, there's nobody over 80 overall in this team, but the amount of potential we've got in this squad is absolutely staggering. It's not going to be easy, but I feel like we'll finish exactly where we are now, 11th in the league. I mean, maybe a couple of places lower, but I do not feel like we're going to be in a relegation scrap. But at the end of Season 1, these stats aren't looking too promising, but Jamie Vardy has killed it. 14 goals, 1 assist in 27 games. That is actually amazing, fair enough. To be fair, when you look at these stats overall, they're not actually that bad. A lot of players have got involved with the goals and assists this year. It's just nobody's gone above and beyond the average. But I tell you guys, this team on paper doesn't look that bad at all. A lot of improvements happened over the course of this year, man. And thankfully, putting faith in Buonanotte paid off. 20 years old now, 79 rated, showing great potential. Yeah, we definitely made the right choice. And this just proves it. We are almost smack bang mid-table, guys. 12th in the league, just one place below where I actually predicted we'd finish. I'm honestly buzzing with that, guys. This means that Season 1 is a success with the Foxies. Unfortunately, no FA Cup glory as Ipswich knocked us out in round 4. But we did make the quarters of the Carabao Cup, but the bottle jobs knocked us out. Come on, man, really? I mean, there's room for improvement there, but there's also room for improvement in this team, especially if we want to take Leicester City from the bottom half of the table to the top. And unfortunately, I think the most obvious one is Jamie Vardy. I gave him a year in the starting 11. He proved to me that he can still do it, but next year I don't think he'll be able to, so we will be looking for another striker. But I'll also be improving our defense as well, because as you can see, we did score 60 goals, but we conceded 70. If we concede less next year, we'll be alright. And if we have any money left over, maybe another CDM in place of either Skip or Ndidi. To be fair, there's still a long way to go with the Foxes, but this is only Season 1, man. We've got a lot more time to spend with this team. But guys, whilst I've got your attention, if you're enjoying this video so far with Leicester City, drop this vid a big old thumbs up and smash that subscribe button if you're new. But here we go, guys. Season 2 with the Foxies, but we've unfortunately only got 42 million to spend. Spending that on a striker and another defender, I don't feel like that's feasible, especially if we want to take this team into the top 10 of the Prem. I think we're going to have to go through all these players, see who's worth selling, see who's worth keeping, and then go from there, because right now 40 odd million ain't going to cut it. So here we are, guys. I've compiled a list of players that I'm going to loan out or that I'm going to sell. I mean, some of these are common sense, but Ricardo Pereira, I mean, I feel like I'm going to bring in a fullback for him anyway, so I may as well just cash in on him. And there we go. All the players on that transfer list are gone, including Ricardo Pereira, who was the big money sale. And now we've got 67 million to spend. Now, that's the kind of money that I can use to take Leicester from the bottom half of the table to the top 10. And I think for now, we'll leave our midfield duo alone until Season 3. For now, at least, we bring in a better striker than Vardy and a couple of defenders. But first things first, we need to replace Jamie Vardy. So I've taken a chance and spent 16.3 million on Cameron Archer. He's only 23, but he's 77 overall. I believe this guy's got quite a bit of ability, and I feel like at Leicester, he can do well. But now that we've sorted our front four, it's time to focus our attention on the back four. And that's exactly what I've just done by spending 27.1 million on Benjamin Hendricks. He's only 28, and now he's our best defender. As you can see, I'm pulling no punches in Season 2. But we only have 19 mil to spend on our last transfer, which might not be enough for the player I've got in mind. Because I really want Jan Orel Bisek from Inter Milan. Only 24, 79 overall, and standing at 6'5". This guy's an absolute brick house. But he's worth between 19.8 and 24.8 million. So if we are to make this deal happen, we're going to have to throw a player into this, I reckon. So I'm giving them 11 mil alongside Wout Faes. He's the centre back we're replacing, so I think this does make sense. It just depends if Inter think it makes sense. Oh my god, they only want 1.6 million more. That's amazing. We've got him. And after signing him on a 5-year deal, that's officially our transfer window done. And looking at this team now, guys, I'll level with you. I don't think think we're far off from getting the Foxes European football once again. But certain things have to go away. For example, Archer has to have a great year this year, man. He has to prove to me that I was right in signing him this year. And our new defenders have to improve our defense, man. If those two things happen this year, I definitely feel like this season's going to be way better than last. And guys, I wasn't wrong. We're officially back inside the top 10. We're slowly but surely getting Leicester City to where we want them to be. And look at that, 61 goals scored, 57 goals conceded. We've scored more and conceded less. Our plan this year worked. But we had a stinker this time in the FA Cup, getting knocked out before we even had a chance to compete. And we got knocked out by Arsenal in the Carabao Cup. He's just not been very good for us domestically, has he? But guys, I am liking the looks of this team at the minute. It's just our midfield that lets us down, and we are honestly ready for European football. I mean, for God's sake, look at Factory. Not only is he 86 overall now, he's got 22 goals and 3 assists in 41 games. Hands down our best player now. Archer had a decent season, 11 goals and 1 assist, 11 and 7 for Buonanotte, 5 for Daka. Alcanus is doing decent as well. Our front four is doing pretty damn well. And guys, looking at the table again, I've just noticed something that I didn't before. We were only 10 points away from actually competing in European football. And if I didn't believe before, I fully do now. If we sort our midfield out for Season 3, Leicester City in Season 4 will be playing either Conference League, Europa League, or hopefully Champions League football. But we ain't gonna get that with the budget we've got to spend this year. 50 mil is all we've got, man. I swear that's only like 8 million better than what we had last year. And that's not me saying we've got a bad team. Obviously, we've got a good team. I mean, for goodness sake, half of them are on international duty. But 50 million isn't enough to replace Skip and Ndidi in that centre of the pot with the quality that we need to take Leicester from where we are right now to European football. So it looks like once again we're going to have to figure out who to sell and who to keep. I'm actually getting quite sick of this, man. I feel like the board just aren't giving us any backing whatsoever. I mean, we could of course sell Factory. He's worth 84.5 million, so we could easily get about 110 for him, but there's no chance I want to get rid of him anytime soon, is there? Instead, I'm putting all 5 of these players on the transfer list. I don't feel like we're going to use any of these guys. I mean, Winks and Ndidi, I mean, that's fair game. We're replacing them anyway, but Sumer, Daka, and McAteer, all I'm doing is loaning them out. And that's exactly what I've done, guys. All 5 of these players have gone in, all 5 of them for a decent amount of money, which gives us 110 million to spend. Now, if we don't get European football with that kind of money to spend, I don't deserve to be in charge of Leicester. Now, obviously, we're using that money to improve our holding midfielder role, but if there is money left over, we will be improving our defense. I mean, I would improve our front four, but there's no reason to. They're absolutely killing it. But as I said, we need holding midfielders, so I spent 28 million on Boubacar Kamara. He's still in his mid-20s and now one of the best players at Leicester City, man. For 28 million, you can't argue with that. And joining him in that CDM role is Yangel Herrera for 37 million. 83 rated himself, a bit more experienced than Kamara. I reckon those pair together are going to kill it in the Prem. But we still have 35 mil in our budget, and honestly, we're still not in a position to not spend that yet. But looking at the team, guys, my biggest issue is where on earth do we actually put that money? Because everywhere in the team actually looks pretty damn decent now. To be fair, I don't think we need to mess with the starting 11. Maybe instead we focus on the bench, because there are a couple players here that definitely let the team down in terms of replacing quality with quality. I mean, our keepers aren't good at all. We haven't got a decent backup attacking midfielder. I feel like that's where that money should go. So I wasted no time in spending 5.5 million on Alphonse Areola. He's a half decent keeper and his contract was running out. I really couldn't say no to him. I also can't say no to Fabian Rieder. In his mid-20s, still 79 overall, and his contract's running out too, which means we'll get him much cheaper than usual as well. And there we go, 18.7 million pounds later, we've signed him on a 4-year deal to wrap up our transfer window. And looking at the state of our bench now, I'm pretty happy with it. The quality's definitely increased after signing Rieder and Areola. But the question is, going into Season 3, can this Leicester City side finally once again get European football? Yes, we can! We are 3rd in the Premier League. We are 2 points clear in the top 4. Boys, we've actually done it. We've got Leicester City European football. And I hope this proves to you that you don't need to use the tactical presets given to you by the game. You can use your own and it'll still work. I'm honestly buzzing, guys. We beat United, the Bottle Jobs, and Arsenal to European football. Do you know how mad that is? We're still rubbish in the FA Cup though. Arsenal knocked us out in round 3. And Burton Albion knocked us out of the Carabao Cup. Yeah, we're moving swiftly on. But it has to be said, guys, looking at this team, if we make the correct signings in Season 4, we actually stand a half-decent chance of actually winning the Champions League in our first go. But looking at these stats, you wouldn't believe we finished inside the top 4. Fatawu and Archer were our best goal contributors, and neither of them scored more than 20 goals. I actually find that crazy, you know. I mean, a front 4 that good and only 2 players scoring more than 15 goals, there's something just amiss there, isn't there? But with us playing Champions League football next year, there are still improvements left to this team to make sure that we're not only competitive in the UCL, but we're going to try and win it. I mean, we could replace Henriks, he's 30 years old now. Granted, he is 83 overall. I'll see what his development plan looks like in Season 4 and then go from there. But it looks like we're replacing Christensen, as it'll take 88 weeks to improve to become an 83 rated left back. Yeah, in the UCL, he'll get torn apart. We need someone better. And as much as it pains me, I might have to replace Satalo. It'll take 74 weeks for him to become a better centre back as well. Either way, guys, we've got a lot of work to do to make sure that not only do we do well next year in the Premier League, but also in the UCL. But this year, we've actually got a good budget, guys. 160 million. And with that money, guys, we should at the very least expect this team to do well in the Premier League again and also be at least competitive in the UCL. Now, last year, I was talking about replacing Henriks, but I've checked his development plan and he actually looks like he's improving still at 30 years old. So for at least one more year, he's staying in the team. But my views on Victor Christensen are the same. I'm replacing him with a far better left back. But incredibly, Satolo's development plan actually looks like it's half decent again. It'll take him 15 weeks to improve to become a better defender, so I'm going to leave him alone. Hermansen, on the other hand, is a different story. 57 weeks to become a better keeper, so it looks like instead of a better centre-back, we're bringing in a better goalie. And because the board have finally backed us, that means we're not selling any players, we're getting straight into business. And that is exactly what I've done, as I've just spent a whopping 42 million on goalie Restas. He's legit only 22 and already 85 overall. Ladies and gents, I feel like that speaks for itself. And joining him is Federico DiMarco from City, almost 30 himself, but he's 85 rated. He's so much better than Christensen. And that's why I've just spent another 47 mil to sign DiMarco on a 3-year deal to wrap this transfer window up. And not only does the starting 11 look insane right now, so does the bench, to be fair, because Christensen and Manson have been dropped to it. I'm confident about Season 4, guys. I feel like this year is going to be our most successful one yet with the Foxes. As we are in the Champions League for the first time, I really hope, though, that we don't crash out in the league phase. I feel like we are far too good for that, to be honest. Saying that, though, it's been a shocking start to the campaign. We've lost 2 out of our first 3 games. That's appalling. Let's just hope that the boys get it together as the season progresses, otherwise this could get pretty embarrassing. And guys, thankfully that's exactly what happened. We once again finished 3rd, but this time we were 4 points away from winning the Foxes the Premier League again. Wouldn't that be amazing if we managed to pull that off, by the way? It'd be so poetic. But we had a stinker in the FA Cup. Coventry knocked us out in round 3. But look at this, we won the Carabao Cup, beating West Ham on penalties. That's our first trophy won with the Foxes. And we could be on for a second as we don't crash out in the league phase, we go off to the playoffs. But look at the teams in the playoffs with us, man. Juve, United, Sevilla, Leverkusen. I mean, these are big teams. But the good news is we're through to the knockouts as we battered FCSB 5-2 on aggregate. But we got humiliated by PSG in the round of 16, 8-3 on aggregate. Oh my god, we got battered. It looks like despite having an absolutely insane team right now, we've still got work to do, guys. But look at our front 3 stats, man. We've got 40 goal contributions, 25 and 16 for Buonanotte, and 21 and 5 for Cameron Archer. I mean, they're doing their job, so that leads me to believe that our back 4 aren't doing ours, especially if we're getting annihilated 8-3 on aggregate by bloody PSG. But if we want to win the Champions League like AC Milan have this year, beating PSG as well to do it, I do feel like the key to doing that is sorting our defence out. And the board have once again sorted us out in Season 5, 154 million. But if we are to replace Sotalo and Bissett, we can't beat around the bush. We've got to go for defenders that are world class and they're going to help us get the job done. Which is exactly why I've just signed Ruben Diaz 43.5 million. I mean, he's literally won it all at club level. He's a world class centre back, and for only 43.5 million, we really can't say no to him, can we? And following game is Nico Schlotterbeck, who's 88 overall himself at 28 years old. And when you look at his stats, man, he's an absolute monster. And after spending 86.5 million on him, that wraps up our transfer window quite nicely. I mean, look at the state of this team now, man. I genuinely don't feel like there's anything more we we can do to improve it. I mean, even the bench now is looking solid. Our weaknesses are Tom Cannon, Mavididi, and they're just under 80 rated themselves. But will that pay off in the Champions League? Last year, we got knocked out by PSG in the round of 16. Hopefully this time we can go a little bit further. But crikey, we've had a stinker start to the year. 3 games played and we still haven't freaking won one yet. I don't know how we've managed to pull that off with the team being this good, man. I just hope that by the end of this year, we are the Premier League champions, because I feel like we're good enough to pull that off now. But apparently we're not, guys. We're second in the league this year with the wackiest top 4 I have ever seen. City absolutely ran away with it, but we finished second. Villa and Bummer finished 3rd and 4th. That's actually insane, you know. Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal and Spurs are 5th to 8th, and United finished 11th. What on earth is going on in this career mode? But despite doing well in the Premier League, we still can't do well in the FA Cup. And it's the exact same in the Carabao Cup as well. Honestly, I don't like our chances in the UCL if this is what we're doing in the FA and Carabao Cup. But look at this, we qualify automatically to the knockouts after finishing 4th. Honestly, the league phase in the UCL is so unpredictable now. But we're into the quarters this time after just about beating Atletico 3-2. And we're into the semis after beating Leverkusen. We could be playing Real Madrid, Bayern or Leipzig. Oh my god, give me Leipzig. We got Leipzig and beat them 4-2. We're playing Real Madrid in the final. Honestly, I'm actually quite happy for once it's not PSG. I'm actually quite looking forward to Real Madrid. Saying that though, I don't know why. That team is insane. Look at that front 3, for goodness sake. Vinny Jr., Mbappe and Rodrigo. Oh my god, we're going to have to defend for our freaking lives. But then again, our team's no slouch either. I mean, Fatawi, Buonanotte, Archer, Tom Cannon, Yangel Herrera have all had really good years. And looking at the team on paper, it just gets better. I mean, Kamara, what an absolute dipshit he is, man. Imagine getting freaking suspended for the final. Aside from him though, we do have a very solid team against Real Madrid. And do you know what I love, by the way? We've got Bilal Al-Khanous, we've got Buonanotte and Fatawu all in the team, and they've been here since season 1. But since season 1, I think we've done a great job with Leicester, even winning them the Carabao Cup. But now it's time to try and win an even bigger trophy in the Champions League. All we got to do is beat Real Madrid to do it. Here come Real Madrid early. Oh, what a tackle, Ruben Diaz. Vinny Jr. didn't stand a chance. You know, it's not until you actually play against Real Madrid on the game you realise how stacked their team is, man. World-class talent up and down the pitch. But here comes Mbappe. Oh, he's in behind Schlotterbeck. What a freaking tackle. And that's a goal kick as well. Schlotterbeck, what a signing you've been, kid. Here comes Vinny Jr. on the left-hand side of the pitch. We've got to watch out for that ball to Mbappe. But look at that from Schlotterbeck again. Batawu's on the ball. He's taken Gavardiol completely out of the game. Can he cut inside? Yes, he can. Can he get the shot off? Forces the save. Al-Khanous on the ball now. He's got Fatawu. Fatawu, I see that run. Back post. Can we get a head on it? No, we can't. Second half now, and honestly, that was the most boring first half going. It's literally such a stalemate. As we got Oliver Skip on the ball. Okay, he's looking for Fatawu. He's found him. He's onside as well. Okay, Fatawu. He's got a lot of work to do here. Can he? Oh, what a save, Magnan. Buonanotte on the ball. Okay, can we find anybody in the box? We've gone right back post. Al-Khanous! And that would have been a sick goal if he'd have actually got that on target. Come Real Madrid though. DeMarco is with Rodrigo. They've gone back post. Our defender. Oh, that is great defending. Almost caught us out there. We've got a corner. Can we get it to Ray? Oh, Restes with the save again. Fatawu on the ball. Can he spot that ball over? Archer's there. Oh my god, Archer with the header. He's actually done Magnan with the header. He came off his line too quick. Archer takes advantage, and with 20 minutes to go, we take the lead. Oh, that's a beautiful ball from Fatawu, man. Archer had no right to get to that. The defenders were in no man's land. Magnan, I don't know what he's playing at, but Archer, what a freaking goal. And with less than 20 minutes to go now, that could indeed be the winner, but we need to defend well. It's not over yet. Al-Khanous on the ball. Okay, Archer, that could be beautiful. Fatawu is in behind. Surely this is game over, and it is. 4 minutes to go. Leicester City have just hit the nail in the coffin. Fatawu with the second goal. Game over. And what a bit of play that was. Archer to Fatawu. Fatawu as well from that position. I don't care who's in goal. He's never not scoring there. But here come Real Madrid. Oh, good save, Restes. And that save from Restes was the last kick of the game, ladies and gents. We've beaten Real Madrid 2-0 in the Champions League final. We are the best team in the world. That too to 5 years in total as well, guys. Leicester City's team, I'll be real, they've got some bloody good talent in that squad. We didn't win the Premier League, which I was gutted about, but at the very least we can say we won Leicester City the Champions League. And with that, my job with the Foxes is done. If you have enjoyed this video, want to see more content like this, smash that subscribe button and leave a like on this video. And if you want to watch more content from me, just click this full movie that I did with Chelsea.